Good evening, everyone. This is Bill Breeden, and welcome to my Constellation Tour number 7. Tonight we're going to review the constellation Auriga, also known as the Charioteer. And tonight's presentation does mark the departure from the northern celestial polar constellation region of the sky. And we are going to be moving more towards the simply the northern celestial hemisphere of the sky. So these constellations, for the most part, will not be circumpolar, although they are still pretty high up in the northern sky, so they're visible for many months. They just aren't visible all year as the circumpolar constellations are. So we have our Stellarium software set tonight for March the 15th at 9 p.m. and we have it set up for moderate suburban light pollution. We are looking northwest, so let's get you oriented with the sky here so I can help you find Auriga. If we look to the north, now if you've watched any of my previous constellation tours, you know how to find the North Star. So in March, Auriga is going to be in the northwestern sky. So you want to look to the west of the North Star, and you want to look pretty high up for a very bright star, one of the brightest stars in the sky, and that would be Capella. Capella is also known as Alpha Auriga. It is the alpha star of Auriga. So let's have a look at the constellation itself. Auriga is located right next to Camelopardalis, and it is also adjacent to Taurus the Bull. So if you look between the two, and actually it's easier just to look for Capella, the bright star Capella. And Auriga has a shape. It has like a box shape, a hexagon, a circle. Let's have a look at that. These stars here form sort of a polygon shape. So if you find a very bright star with this polygon, you've probably found Auriga. Okay? Auriga is best viewed in the winter months, between January and March, although in December it's low in the sky rising, and in April it's low in the sky in the west setting. So the best times to view Auriga are the winter months. Okay, let's look for some double stars within Auriga's boundaries. I do have one listed here, Zeta Auriga. Let's see if we can find that. There we go. Okay. Let's see if Stellarium shows that as a double star. Let's look at it through the finder scope. And at this magnification, I'm not seeing what looks like a double. So let's look at it through our Plossl eyepiece. And I don't see it as a double there either. It is pretty though. Let's put some more magnification on it. Now I don't see where Stellarium is splitting that. It doesn't even list it as a double star in the software. My star chart does show it as a double star, so it could be including these two as a very wide double, or even these two. Still worth searching for. Okay. Auriga is best known for 3 open clusters that are on Charles Messier's Deep Sky list. So let's go ahead and find those. Before we do that, though, let's make it dark. Auriga is beautiful from a dark sky sight. In fact, let's turn off these star names to really get an idea of what the dark sky looks like, but in the direction of Auriga from a dark location. You can see here, this is March the 15th, and you've got the stars of Orion over here just to the left of Auriga, and you have the stars of Taurus over here just below it. So it's in a really nice part of the sky, and you can even see the rift of the Milky Way here going right through the middle of Auriga. Now, Auriga is well known to amateur astronomers for these 3 open clusters on Charles Messier's list. So let's start with M36. And the way I normally find this when I'm out at a dark sky site is I look for this polygon, and this segment here, if you point your finder scope about halfway between these 2 stars, which would put your scope about here, you can't miss it. In fact, you can't miss these 3 clusters. They're all sort of in a line that bisect an imaginary line between these 2. Okay, so let's have a closer look at M36. This is an open cluster located about 4,200 light years from Earth, shining at magnitude 6. Okay, let's look for the next one, M37. And M37, M36, 37, and 38 are all about the same brightness. So when you're panning this area of Auriga with your finder scope, you can very easily find all 3 of these. M37 here, I believe, is my favorite one. Look at the name they have in here, January Salt and Pepper Cluster, which is a really good name for it because the salt represents the brighter members and the pepper represents the fainter members. It's a really good name for it. It's 5th magnitude, and it is about 4,500 light years from Earth. Okay, let's look for the last one on Messier's list that's in Auriga. It's M38. And through the finder scope, again, you look, it's very easy to see. And M38 through a 26 millimeter eyepiece. This one is located 4,200 light years from Earth. So these 3 open clusters in Auriga are all about the same distance from Earth. They're all about the same magnitude. They're all about the same size. And they are easy to find within a bright constellation. And that's easy to find because you simply search for Capella. So this concludes my brief tour of Auriga the Charioteer. Good night and good seeing.